Welcome, it's Domain Dave from CheapWineFinder.com with another wine, a value-priced wine. Again, that's what we do. We find good wines that are a good value, and we talk about them. And today we have a wine that actually I found its list for $14. I found it for $10.99 at a local wine shop here in town of Chicago. And the name is Sobon Estate, Amador County, Old Vine Zinfandel, 2019. Amador County is east of Napa. It's east of Sacramento. It's north and east of Lodi. It's pretty far east compared to all the other California growing regions. It's in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it's in the Shenandoah Valley, not the Virginia Shenandoah Valley, but the California Shenandoah Valley. And this is gold rush territory. This is where gold was found back in the day, early days of California. That's also where one of the first places where vines were planted. This is one of the first grape growing regions in California, and there is a possibility that this area was the first place that Zinfandel was planted, though they didn't keep good records on that sort of thing back then, and there's a couple of possibilities, but Amador County is one of them. And Sobon Estates, the Sobon family started the Shenandoah Valley Vineyards in the late 70s, 1970s. In the late 80s, they bought the D'Agostini Estate, which was one of the first vineyards in California. It started in 1856. So Sobon Estates is the renamed D'Agostini Vineyard. So that's why the grapes, this is old vines. The grapes are from 35 years, not at that old, but to 104 years, which is old. Prohibition started in 1920, so it predated that. It survived Prohibition, didn't get pulled out. It's still here. And why you say is old vine a big thing? Because you really only see it in Zinfandel. You don't really see it elsewhere. And one of the reasons, like in Napa Valley, a Cabernet Sauvignon vineyard, those are high dollar grapes, and they always want the vines to be at their peak, getting their right yields, the best vines at the right yields. And so they when those vines start to slow down, they pull them out and replant, and so the bulk of the vineyard is always at the peak. And Zinfandel, through most of its history, no one cared that much. It was Catholic communion wine. It was farmhouse wine. It was, back in the day, you could make your own. You can make your own wine at home, and people would do that. And you would just buy grapes, and it come out. Boxcars would come out, and people were just buying these grapes. They were not well thought of necessarily, and it's only been in the last maybe 40 years that Zinfandel started to be respected along with the rest of the powerful, exciting wines of California. I'm going to take another sip. So that's where we get the Old Vine Zin from. Sobon Estates does a lot of different grapes, but on their Zinfandels, their higher-end wines are all single vineyard ones, and this is the best of, which is actually not a bad thing at all, because with an estate wine where the winemaker knows the vineyards and the different lots in the vineyards, the winemaker can put together a nice selection of these different grapes with different characteristics and really make something nice out of it. And there's I knew a Barolo from Italy. The guy owned 2 vineyards. I think I've told the story before. And he had 3 wines. He had one from this vineyard, one from that vineyard, and the combination of the 2. And they worked painstakingly over getting those 2 vineyards combined to make their flagship wine. And it was their baby. This is our 2 vineyards. This is the one that I put all my blood, sweat, and tears in. And everybody bought the single vineyard wines. It's like, why? It's not, people think things, it must be good because it's single vineyard. No. It can be good because it's single vineyard, but the blends can be just as good, and virtually all wines are blends too. If it's 100% Chardonnay, it's not just from one section for the most part. That can happen occasionally, but it's usually blended from different lots. And Wine is about blending. Everything's about blending, and this wine's been blended. It tastes delicious. It's really good. It's sleek. It's subtle. It's 50% alcohol. I had a wine recently that was kind of high in alcohol. I didn't really like it. This one, I don't really notice the alcohol at all. It's got enough body that it just absorbs it. I mean, you don't really taste it. There's a ripeness to it, but it goes along with the wine. I'm gonna take another sip. It's really sleek. The flavors are not overpowering. The spice is there, like what you get with Zinfandel, but it's not super spicy. It's all there. It's all in place. It's just kind of smooth. It's easy to drink, and I know some people think easy to drink is a bad thing, but no, it's a good thing. Any wine that's hard to drink is not a good wine, if you ask me. I mean, it's easy to drink. Should be a wine that you want to take another sip and it tastes delicious. You know, simple wine isn't easy to drink. A wine that's kind of complicated and enticing and beckons you for another sip, that still, tastes great, that's easy to drink. And this Sobon estate, $11. Amador County, it's been a while since I've had an Amador County Zinfandel. And all the different, the Lodi is different. Sonoma Zinfandel is different. Central Coast is different. Napa is really different. Exploring Zinfandel might be something I'm going to put on my to-do list this year. So there you go. I like the Sobon Amador County Old Vine Zinfandel 2019. Tastes great. Good to you. And that's it for me. I'm going to take another sip and we're going to say goodbye. So adios. Keep it cheap. On to the next one. I'm not sure what we're doing next, but there's always something to do, something to drink. Wines are slow. New wines are slow in coming, so I'm hoping that'll open up pretty soon. But stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll be talking to everybody in a couple more days with something good to drink and something good to talk about. So adios. Bye-bye.